the press conferences, all that kind of stuff. You can't just go, what? No, nope. People are wearing clown noses. We're not going to show up. Now, with that being said, I love that it's just another thing that's hitting the national media about this.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
What's funny is every year you've heard the knock be, I didn't like somebody national will say something stupid, and it will be like, I didn't realize that the Jags had that many fans. I didn't realize Jag fans exist. Well, you can't say that no more. Like, it's actually been making headlines. It's been trending. It's interesting enough to where I'm like, I'm going to go look tomorrow. I'm going to spend half a day.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, I can't. I would have had to done it today because it won't come in. If you know where I can acquire or procure a youth size clown outfit,
wow,
possibly a nose,
wow,
possibly a nose,
you're gonna put your kid in this,
or find me some larger adult human clown apparel. I'm going to the game on Sunday, so I might as well go.
I think the rules should be pretty solid here, though. If you ain't wearing it, your kid who don't even know what's going on.
No, I want both. If we're gonna do,
am I wrong on that?
Like, I'm not gonna set my son up for failure and let him be the only.
You're like, kid, you be the activist. You look like
we're gonna both go in there as clowns.
We have to hop on the mic because we can't. Yeah, you can't hear. So you're really gonna do that though?
I'm thinking about it, if I can find it reasonable.
All right. I
don't want to like make clown stock go higher.
Oh. But then they're not gonna have like sound.
Well, no. Still, we're gonna. I would like this to be on IG.
But we're on now.
I got it. We can talk.
Man, this is like an absolute shit show right here.
This is why the people like us.
No. I don't think that's why.
Try that.
So you're not gonna make your kid wear the clown suit and you're walking around in your Yeezys.
I'll be walking around in Yeezys, but I'll have a clown suit on also. It would just be actually, I'm not wearing my Yeezys to the Jaguar game. Come on, man.
Are you
I'm going to wear my off-white Chicago 1985s.
You already know this? Because it matches the nose?
Because it's red, it matches the nose, and I haven't worn them yet. So I need to wear them so that people can see them, and we'll be in a box this time. So, like, yes. Yeah. The only reason I'm going is because I'm going in a box.
Wait, you're going to go sit in a box in a clown?
Not just in a box. I am going to be in.
Okay.
Not the rooftop company, whatever the hell they are called. But let's just say it's a pretty high-end sponsor for the Jaguars. Like, you could say they own the place.
TIA?
It's a bank.
I mean, I don't understand what's the secret about this.
No, no secret. That's the box I'm sitting in. Like, I want to be.
Why are we being secretive about it?
I don't know.
Are you not supposed to be in it?
Probably
are you sneaking in?
I'm probably going to sneak into it. We did that the first year that I went to all the games.
I actually think people buy boxes so that their name can get out.
Ah,
you know what I mean?
True.
I think they would be thankful.
I'm gonna tell you this: if it's not up to box standards,
like
that means you don't have good libations. You don't have at least warm hot dogs and hamburgers. You don't have to have the fruit stuff,
right?
But we need at least normal game day meals. And I'm going to talk about you on the show.
Well, I think it'll be interesting to kind of feel the energy there. Like I said, I mean, nobody cared anything about this game until this clown stuff came up.
This game gets sold pretty high.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not. No, I mean, listen, I'm all for the people supporting the cause, but I saw some tweets about that today of, it's going to be like a highest attended game. Like, people aren't going to spend their money to go wear a clown suit. It's just like, at the end of the day, it is a 5-6 hour investment, right?
It is.
So, I mean, it's not going to be any more well attended than the last home game, whatever that was. But the point is still the point. There's going to be a percentage of the people there making a statement that the owner is largely ignoring at this point. And, people can say, well, just let it play out. But the problem is he's interviewing coaches right now.
And, you're interviewing the first round. So let it play out. right?
Mhm.
Okay. You're interviewing coaches and you're turning off an entire database of coaches based on your GM, your current GM. So let's say you get blown out again and now you fire the GM. Let it play out. Just wasted you a week.
Right.
Because now, if you're going to hire a new GM, now you got to go through that process. You got to make sure that the new GM, or you got to kind of go back and re-interview these guys that you just interviewed to get who would they likely want to work
You
with.
think we don't know if Balky is in these interviews or not?
I
We
thought
have
that's what
no
they were
idea.
saying. That was so we're just assuming
Yeah, I think
he's done the Doug Marone.
I asked at the flagship earlier this week. I was like, "Has that been in Mike Dempsey?" Was like, "No, nobody knows." Like they're at undisclosed locations. So I don't know. Like maybe they're being told something different. Maybe through back channels and stuff like that. But you would think it would get out. You would think if agents are being told, "No, you can interview because we're going to get rid of Balky," that seems like that would get out. I just don't understand the secrecy. Like I'm almost to the point now where I believe he's going to be kept here because there's no reason to be secret about it.
Right. If you're gonna fire, like this is the last week.
Right. You got to pay
Actually,
him
the last
anyway.
3 weeks, you could have clearly said he's not at this juncture. He's not being because his contract didn't necessarily get renewed. They just didn't fire him.
Well, you talking about last year?
They'll say did they
I mean, he got a promotion. He got a promotion.
We got that part, but
so I don't know if that came with a new contract. But it doesn't matter.
Bottom line is, you could literally. What I was going to say is, you could say right now his contract's up at the end of the year. We don't know where we're going. If you want to be politically correct, or just say he's being fired at the end of the year. We just need him to like, because a lot of the dumb reasons that I've heard are people saying, "Well, you can't just get rid of him because then who's going to know how to make the football decisions?" Well, hire him through just say he's fired.
Well, there is one good reason to keep him through is because of the way this COVID stuff is working. Like you do have to have somebody there. Like last week, they had to sign like 6 new people that had never been in Jacksonville. So you got to have somebody manning that ship at least through the last game.
No, I got you.
But when once toe meets leather on Sunday, bump it, tap him on the shoulder, and go get your stuff. I want you out before the end of the game.
Toe meets leather, son. Like really, it's kind of it's like Sunday dinner, man. When Big Mama and them used to cook, it's already prepared Saturday for the most part. She just got to put some stuff in the oven on Sunday. But like the majority of the meal is already made. He don't need to be there.
Agree. I was just saying that because of the COVID thing. If somebody tested positive, you fly somebody in. Like, I mean, the punter.
I'm saying like on Saturday?
Yeah, that's what they did with the punter last week. He literally flew in and met everybody as they were about to get on the bus to go to the game.
That's wild.
Because the punter hit COVID protocol.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's the only reason. Yeah. And I'm not even saying that's a good reason. I'm just giving an example of something that they may be saying we got to wait on. There's 2 things that I don't understand. I'm with the clown movement completely, just to be clear, because you guys are getting sensitive about this with people who aren't with the movement. We're pro clown.
Yeah, one person, I'm like, did you even made a whole comment before? I'm like, did you even read?
I know.
Listen?
I know.
Like, we put this shit out here.
I know. It's like, yeah, we're pro clowns. Well, I don't like clowns. We're pro clown movement. Yes. 2 things I don't understand, and I need you to help me with this. We've just talked about there's no reason to keep Balky. I don't understand why Shad Khan even thinks it's a possibility. But the bigger thing I understand is this Bill O'Brien thing. Why are people defending Bill O'Brien on Twitter and in the media? Why are people saying, well, he's actually a really good coach and he's not going to make personnel decisions? And, if you looked at it outside of the personnel, like, why are we having to hire the guy that we have to make exceptions for or exemptions for? What we shouldn't be doing that. Like, there should not be, when you're hiring a new coach, there shouldn't be hey, we're taking him, but like, there's plenty of guys out there that you don't have that. But I personally don't think Bill O'Brien should ever be allowed to coach in the NFL again with what he did.
There's 32 of these jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Every job, every time you hire somebody, it should be a splash. Because there's only 32. It's not like you can go like, yes, they can fail, they can do something, but every time, like, okay, we got one of the best available to do this. So like, that's why I'm not against retreads, but I don't understand why we have so many retreads sometimes outside of situations like what I think Jacksonville needs. You do need a retread, not because because they need stability. Somebody who's done it before. But Bill O'Brien's not the one that I want.
No,
because forget the fact that, and I kind of understand where they're coming from. When people say, from a coach's perspective, they were competitive out the gate. They won. They went to the playoffs. It didn't get messed up until you started handling personnel. But here's something that comes along with handling personnel is not just being the GM. Like, you literally had to like mesh with these personalities. How do you misjudge DeAndre Hopkins so bad to where he doesn't want to play there?
JJ Watt didn't want to play there anymore.
These are guys who,
think about when you think of Houston, you think of JJ Watt, and he was past his prime.
Fair,
but still,
these are guys who knew you or were with you before you really got this mantle. So like you wow.
I just don't like, we can name, I get what you're saying about the retreads, but I disagree on the NFL level. Like I'm all for Caldwell, I'm all for Marvin Lewis, I'm all for guys who had some success, and maybe the second time around they're a little bit better. They're stable, that type of stuff. I just, for the life of me, I cannot understand why I'm hearing this stuff about Bill O'Brien. If he even gets an interview, I don't understand what Shad Khan is doing. You don't need him. He comes with issues. You don't need issues when you've got plenty of guys out there that have none. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's like there's two pairs of shoes, and one of them has a little bit of dirt on it. But you say, well, I'm not going to wear it inside, so I'm going to buy that one, even though the one right there is the same price and it has no dirt on it.
Right.
Like, think about how stupid that is. That's what we're doing here. We're saying, well, since he's not making personnel decisions, maybe he's the right guy. Man, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. If you are a grown-ass man and you agreed to make personnel decisions and you failed and you literally tanked a franchise in the process to where your best players didn't want to play, your quarterback demanded a trade, all that kind of stuff, you do not deserve another chance to be a head coach 3 years later.
Fair. I'm with you on Caldwell. I'm with you on Peterson. I get that.
The more I think about Peterson, the more I like that one.
I just don't like Bill O'Brien. I haven't. The only times I've seen this are when I see the flagships retweets of what somebody said while they were on the show, on one of the shows, and maybe a couple pundits. But I honestly think in a time where you really can't do any wrong if you're Jaguar media. What I mean by that is it's not as polarizing a stance to tell the complete 100, like all the way truth right now about the Jaguars, because it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody around it can acknowledge that it's bad. Change the slide.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So like, to defend, sometimes it just feels like right now still the mainstream. You got some guys deflecting a little bit. It's still so pro spin to whatever the Jaguars do is going to be the right thing that it's just ridiculous.
You think?
I'm only now to the defense. I don't listen, but I am reading whole think pieces, like in quotation marks, for things that are being said. It shows that actually I do try to listen to when I get a chance. The XL Primetime, I'm so used to calling a nickname, like to go in on why not understanding why this clown movement is going down, and all four members of this show in defense in unison. 5 o'clock, 6 a.m. I get Jaguars Today, probably the only show that should be completely 100% pro Jaguar.
It's funny though, because
I'm
there every day except for one, and I don't get that feeling.
I'm just like this. Okay, well, here's what happens.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
No. I'm saying, and if that's how it feels inside, then that's a scarier issue, because the scarier issue is what's being conveyed out of the mouth isn't being heard by the recipient.
So Hickens said today, and I thought this was a great point. Hickens said today, he said, I respect the passion, because at this point I'm just apathetic.
Okay.
And we've talked about this for years. That's the danger you run into.
Right. And that's what a lot of people
anger is usually the thing right before apathy. And that's where Shad Khan's got to be super careful right now. Or he don't. I mean, I threw this out there a little while ago, a couple weeks ago. We'd be in major league. Like, and let's listen. I make a lot of money off the Jags, but I'm going to say it this way. People talk about the investments that Shad Khan has made in the city of Jacksonville. What are they? What are the investments? What has been built? So we have.
I think, my bad, that might be where a lot of people are saying that it's too much. The defense isn't, look at the investment Shad has made into the Jaguars here and making them better. It's what has he done for the city? And the city is shooting back saying, what does that have to do with anything?
Stick with the Jaguars for a second. Follow me on this. And I may be missing something. I want y'all to call me out if I am. I don't know what he has built. You can tell me the amphitheater. That's not for the Jaguars. They talked about local revenue. The only thing I see going on there is the wrestling thing that they own. The indoor practice field is the worst indoor practice field in the league. It was made literally to the specs of the amphitheater. Right. Okay, so that was not a Jaguar thing. Like, they're having to build a new one, right, already. Think about that. Like, they built a practice facility with no storage, James. All right, to put that in perspective, an NFL practice, there's dummies, there's all this stuff that it takes time to set up.
Right.
When you build an indoor facility, what you want is if inclement weather hits,
you can go right in.
I can go right to it. Right now, it takes them like an hour to get everything from the practice field to the indoor because there's nowhere to put the stuff. Is it nice? Sure. And we talk about this with college facilities. The average person would walk into that indoor and be like, yo, this is amazing. It is not functional. It was not built for football, period. I argue with somebody else. I've been in it a ton of times. They're having to rebuild something, but they haven't yet. Right? So name me something that is complete or that is even in the process of being built, that there's shovels in the ground. That's not the amphitheater. What am I missing?
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say this. It's actually the other way around, is the way people should think about this, is that the city of Jacksonville has literally moved real estate, restructured,
took down a bridge
so that Shad Khan could be able to see,
could hit us with some renderings.
Hit us with renderings and actually be able to see his. Right now, he can see it from Kesmet or whatever it's called. You can see the whole game from there. But when he gets his rooftop suite or whatever he wants to call it with the 4 seasons that they build, you'll be able to see that. But here's where I was saying this, and Cap is Bow City Cap. At Bow City Cap, go follow him. Him at E_Dilla. A lot of great Jag follows in general, but like those guys,
I would imagine most are already following.
Yeah, if you're not following them, I'm telling you, follow them now. They're hilarious, great. Seriously said that the clown out was a tantrum, and if the Jags with Balky start 3-0 next year, then all would be forgotten. 3-0 as in winning the first 3 games of a season, as in like we've won 3 games in the last 2 seasons combined. Like, well, 2 of the games that we've lost, we've been swept by the Texans.
Well, think about this. He could go undefeated next year, and he would still be 14 games under 500 as a career.
Right.
Like, think about that.
But I'm just saying, like, so, like, when people hear stuff like that, it's like, yo, and I'm here to stand out on a limb. And, like, I know there are conversations that have been had, but it's not as blatant as people think, because it's been given to me before. Like, when I was very harsh on Tom Coughlin, I was told, listen, love everything you're doing. You're doing great. Not even going to say you're wrong, but just know if they come and tell us that you're too hard on Tom Coughlin and we need to do something, trust we're not keeping your ass. Which is fair. So do with that. And I was told literally this. So do with that information what you must. But keep up the good work. So I'm not saying that doesn't happen.
Yeah, now I want to be clear. The person that said that's not there.
Yeah, they're not there anymore. Yeah. And he was right. I was a little.
You were talking about Tom Coughlin's old soggy nuts.
I was a little over the top.
Yes. It's not like he was talking. Yes.
I was
That's why.
Yes.
Slightly over the top. It was a little over the top.
Don't make it sound like you were talking about his on the field performance.
Yeah.
James was
might have got a little personal at times.
in a commercial read, by the way, that Coughlin wasn't being paid for.
Right.
So I just want to give our people all the information.
I just wanted to, yes, you're right. But I am saying is that sometimes like to make that statement, like it's even plausible. Like if like right now, anybody, whether it be any of the sports national, like you can't be in this city and say, if you could do it any better, you would be in that position. Like
everybody could do better.
We can all like the league is set up to be 500.
The four of us could run the Jags better high.
You can't,
without a shadow of a doubt.
You can't be this bad.
And judging by the smell of things in here, I'm pretty sure 3 of you already are high. So,
but not today.
So I do have
probably
got a contact high. My kids are gonna be stumbling.
I do have a question. What do you guys think it is about like Shad Khan that just doesn't click with football in his brain? You know,
mustache.
No, it's not important to him.
Like that's what I was getting at with the mustache. It's just
how are you gonna?
Mustache. Nobody with a mustache like that really cares about football. But have you ever seen somebody that's defined a mustache like that that's ever been really good? The only times I've seen them in fiction, even in fiction or reality, is now if he has a 6-shooter, I wouldn't want to get in it because those are the only people with prom. Or if we were making chips like Pringles and stuff, I think he's got me beat. But when it comes to football, I'm not. Not okay. American football.
So, all right. Well, not soccer either.
Oh, I would think he's there. Yeah.
Well, it's clown.
I believe he could juggle. Yeah, if you told me he could juggle, I would not knock it.
Here's the thing about it. Like this guy. First off, did y'all answer my question? Am I wrong? Am I missing something that he has done in the city of Jacksonville?
I don't think
so. He sued somebody.
No, that wasn't him. No, that wasn't him.
He sued somebody that he invested in.
He did do that.
So
I feel like if you go back through our judgment, I'm going to answer your question, Bobby, but our judgment is a little clouded. I know that he's given money to charities, and I know all that. And I know like he's given a good amount of money. A lot of money is a lot of money. Doesn't matter how much you have. But if you really sit back and think about it, my first memory of Shad Khan and the city of Jacksonville was the shipyards and that dope rendering. Like that was the mother of all renderings right there. That was interactive.
It's been some renderings like a mug, boy.
Man, it was interactive. It had like practice fields on top of practice fields. And remember, the only thing was, wait, now we're going to put like Noah's Ark on there. Remember that?
Right.
Like it was done. And then that went away. And then we got renderings of Lot J, and that obviously went away. And now we've got, this football facility that has been approved, but it's not up. And so because of that's mean, because of the past, I can't believe that. Now, and we're also getting renderings of the Four Seasons, but I don't know. And to your point, James, the city has answered every single bell with the exception of Lot J. They tore down the bridge. Like they've done everything that he's needed. I'm not saying, and I want to be crystal clear on this, I'm not saying that this stuff isn't going to happen. I'm just saying, don't let the renderings cloud your judgment on what has actually happened in Jacksonville. You've got an amphitheater and you've got a non-functional practice field. You know what you have? You have an indoor practice field for youth leagues. That's what they use it for. We've been to a lot of practice. How many times have we been in that indoor? Once. That's how big of a pain it is to go from the outdoor fields to the indoor fields. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's actually going on. And the only reason why I'm starting to question this is because these decisions make absolutely zero sense. And if people understood, and you do, what I'm risking by saying this, you'd be like, Denny, you're crazy. Like, you need to be anti-clown movement. But it doesn't make any sense. And I'm just calling it like I see it. There's no other reason to keep Trent Baalke. There's no other reason to even float Bill O'Brien's name. There's literally no reason why those guys should even be brought up at an NFL level right now. And to answer your question, Bobby, I don't know why he's not any good, but the only thought I can have is because he doesn't want to be good. And that's where I'm at right now, because you have to try hard to suck this bad. Right? I mean, you could guess, you could literally, there's a dog on TikTok that like they throw a ball at its nose and then it picks the winner of a game. Have y'all seen that? Like there's 2 trash cans. You
Remember
literally
the Super Bowl? Like, is it the Super Bowl? Like they have like this thing has been 85% accurate.
Yes, you literally could have that dog in the Jags facility with first round grade guys and bounce a ball off his nose and whatever it lands on, you get, and you would do better than what they've done. It's impossible to be this bad. Sorry, got that out. And I'm going, and the other thing, like I'm going tomorrow to Indianapolis, and there's a city that Peyton Manning changed the entire city. If you went to Indianapolis before and you went to Indianapolis now, they literally built a new stadium and a dope ass downtown on the back of Peyton Manning. And we just drafted who everybody said is the next Peyton Manning, and we can't get out of our own way to even fire a GM.
I used to blame the people. And multiple things could be true at the same time. And yes, the people, and not in a bad way. It's like Jacksonville has its own identity, but like some of downtown has been, it's noted like how hard it's been and difficult it's been. But it's easier to push something forward when there's something to do downtown that excites you. Like, and then I can clearly say since 2007, it's really not been that exciting.
Do you care? Do any of us in here really legit care whether the growth in the city happens at the beach, the town center, or downtown? Or do you just care that we put a winning product on the field?
I just care that the winning product's on the field.
I don't care. If I want to go somewhere for fun, I'll go to town center. That new rooftop bar is dope as hell. I'll go there. I don't need to go downtown. When I go downtown, I need to know that I may witness a win. I don't care if there's a 4 seasons. I don't care about any of that.
I'm gonna be honest with you. And it was odd because I had a friend ask me about like a good hotel in Jacksonville, and I steered him every direction except for Jacksonville. No, did you know? Like if you want to really
Beach dope, man.
Okay, some of those, yes, but like but it's not Jackson, like the heart of Jacksonville.
Oh yeah,
like if you want the Ritz at Amelia Island, that's a dope hotel. I can't think of the same. It's a Autograph Collection, which is one of the fancy Marriott down in downtown St. Augustine. Mm-hmm. Go there, find an Airbnb or something like that.
Margaritaville is pretty legit.
Now, but now what I will say is Jacksonville has a bunch of, like, if you just need somewhere to lay, like, and you want a really nice, like a good hotel, that's it. But if you're looking like for a fancy, I got 16 years, not 16 years ago. 13, 14 years ago, I can tell you a great place to go. The Hyatt Regency. I don't think that's been renovated since. Like for about, but those are the things that like, but I say that to say is if they build the 4 seasons, you know where I'm probably never going to stay at?
Right.
I'm probably never going to the 4 seasons in Jacksonville. Right. Because one, there's nothing else to do downtown. If it was at the beach, I would. But there's nothing else to do in downtown Jacksonville besides spend a whole bunch of money on that hotel and see a loser.
Why are we trying to force it?
No,
why are we trying to force it?
Well, I think
any other sane business person.
Indy, I think you just said like Indy. When I think about Charlotte and what Charlotte, I don't even know if that's downtown. I'm assuming that's downtown Charlotte, wherever the stadium is. But I know there's been a tremendous amount of life, and the outside of Mecklenburg County is boring. Downtown Charlotte isn't. Cleveland. What LeBron was able to do with Cleveland is incredible. And what Baker's managing not to do with Cleveland is even more incredible.
I guess I should just say it like this. I'm not against downtown development. I just want to win football games.
I think the city would be more fun if they were winning.
Right.
When you were talking about Indianapolis, I've actually been watching Hard Knocks lately.
Yeah.
And listen, man, I think that like watching how the Colts are ran,
dude,
it's a well-run organization.
I can't talk good about Indianapolis because I'll get in trouble from him and JJ because I am so pro Indianapolis.
What I was going to say was that I think even though we suck as Jaguars Jaguars, most entertaining Hard Knock would have been us this season.
Oh yeah.
I would have watched
Without
it.
a
Gosh.
doubt.
I mean, think about the last episode of the Clown Out. Are you kidding me?
Well,
Like,
it wouldn't have got to that though. Hard Knocks is only preseason, right?
they've been doing it during the season.
What?
The Colts has followed the whole season.
Yeah.
And they turned. Oh, they would have went. Oh,
They did two different teams. They did a preseason one, which I think was the Cowboys. Yeah, and then during the season they did the Colts.
oh man, this should have been must see.
Oh, it would have
It's
been
on HBO Max.
like, I mean, but I don't know. Would Urban still have really like stuck his hand all the way in some young girl's butt crack if a camera was on him?
I think he would have thought the camera wouldn't have been on him at that point.
Well, that's true because he got to know there's cameras there. Like there
He knew
people.
what he was doing. Man.
Yeah.
He knew exactly.
Get us to
what he was
Executive
doing.
Health and Med Spa real quick because I do have something here. Executive Health and Med Spa. Get over there if you're not feeling right. New year, new you. I hate that saying. I'm never going to say that again. Forget I said that. It's not a new you. It's the same you that it was last year. Nothing changed. All right. But if you want to feel a little bit better, if something's keeping you down, get to Northeast Florida Executive Health and Med Spa and just find out what's going on. Just feel better. Don't bum around. And obviously, if you need help in the bedroom, they can probably help you with that too. Somebody having like some real identity issues right now. And I'm going to tell you this. I have a new LeVar Ball. I have a new guy where I'm this close to just not talking about him. And that's AB. That's Antonio Brown.
Man, time out. Like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but we gotta like make sure we preface this thing. LeVar Ball was just very loud for his sons, and at some point you can see it was a righteous cause, like to get his kids. AB is about nobody.
No. LeVar Ball was just annoying to me.
No, I got
That's the
you.
reason why I don't.
Okay,
talk
I was
about
gonna say
it.
I just want people to know that because
Yeah.
I don't want people to think, yeah, that's right. LeVar Ball. No, AB is an ass.
AB is delusional. AB did a podcast today. Did you see that?
I saw the. I saw
He
the.
is absolutely delusional, man.
He's like little kids, teenagers.
Oh, so
They
that
have like
explains why that dude-
590,000 followers.
That explains why the dude acted like such a yeah. See, this is when people think I say the first thing that comes to my mind. That's me shutting down
You're
five.
talking about
items.
when AB was like, "Y'all tell me why I'm not." You talking about
Yeah,
that?
then the guy was like, "You're the best, AB. Yeah, you're shut up."
And it's like this whole crew of people that feel like they need to come to his defense, and it's like, y'all are looking silly.
It sucks because
Who do you trust, AB or Uncle Bruce?
one, I love Uncle Bruce.
I
'Cause he
agree.
reminds me of my Uncle Harry.
You think he lies?
Of course, all the time, but it's
I don't
good.
think he does.
It's good lies. It's like lies like you seen Coming to America, right?
Uh-huh.
Remember how the barber said, I cut Martin Luther King's hair. You ain't cut no Martin Luther King. He sat down right here. He owes me $10. Now we know he's lying about cutting Martin.
Right.
But
Right.
it's a cool lie. It's a good story. Like,
Right.
you know, like my Uncle Harry's told all kind. He was a deacon. He's still alive. This one's alive. He's a deacon. But I finally remember going and using the bathroom and finding my first Playboy magazines in Uncle Harry's bathroom. So, like, you know, on the outside, nobody would believe he had those. But I know Uncle Harry, and he had those. But
Bruce absolutely has.
And anybody, did you see what Uncle Bruce did when he got on the bus?
I don't know.
Oh, this is when I knew I could relate to him.
Okay.
Is he didn't no box, purple Crown Royal,
Yeah.
cracked it open like and kept it
In the little bag.
in the bag
Yep.
and poured himself a little taste.
Mhm.
And I said, you can't. I promise you, y'all can argue with me, find your own time. Bruce Arians is the second African American, third African American Super Bowl winning coach.
You're just claiming him.
He's not white, man.
He's just claiming him.
What?
That's where we're at.
What?
Chappelle race draft.
No, look at him. He's tan.
Watch this.
He's always wearing a Kango.
Watch this.
He drinks Crown.
Does Seattle have a white or a black quarterback?
Nah, he's black. I'll give him that.
Okay.
He's just different. He's just weird. He's Carlton Banks, divorced, taking better care of somebody else's kid than his own.
And
Oh, he's all black. I'm just joking. He takes care of it. Russell's a good guy. Russell is a really good guy. He's just an easy mark. But I will say is this:
I didn't see it going there. That's my bad.
AB AB has done something that is very difficult for most, like, kind of just really, really good, level-minded black males to do.
Okay.
Is to like get people to like just completely ignore a system that has screwed players over and just in general borderline racism. The NFL, it's not that I don't trust Uncle Bruce.
Okay.
I just know the NFL. So his story isn't unplausible. Like, you're hurt and they shot you up with something, told you to run out there. The problem is AB has been an ass in 4 different places to where nobody wants to believe your story. No matter how true or how it might actually be plausible, you're just that bad of a person to where nobody wants to hear
your history always plays.
And in the last 3 days, you've had like 5 story changes.
I know.
Between you. This is the one that trips me out the most, man. He posts the text messages.
Mm-hmm.
So now, part of me wanted to believe it because it has dates. Mm-hmm. But the other part of me wants to be like this. You're my coach. You're my boss. Mm-hmm. And November 30th, you send me a text message saying, "Hey, AB, it's Bruce."
I didn't think about that.
November 30th, I've been your boss for 2 years now.
I didn't think about that.
The soft introductions like that don't happen, man.
I didn't even think about that.
AB, yo, call me back.
Yeah.
That's just the way, like, at a certain point where people typically use relationships to be built, the more you know somebody, the more shorthanded the texts are. That's why I don't like reading text.
The OnlyFans story is.
And even her, like, one, stop making these nasty heifers famous. Lady got it's not OnlyFans. I'm not against OnlyFans.
Wow.
I'm pro OnlyFans. I want to make sure that this is true.
Jeez.
Get your money, ladies. I don't like people who lick toilets. I'm sorry. You'll never get me. You'll never get me to like some. You'll never get me to be pro or believe somebody that licked the toilet.
No, that's one of her things.
One of her things. She licks toilets and now she's COVID. Now she's got COVID. Because she puts that out. That
I didn't know that.
Tampa Bay, y'all need to test your players because she was in the hotel and she had the double stripes. And not a pregnancy test.
I was gonna say, are we sure she took the right test?
Who knows?
Do we need to let her know you don't pee on a COVID test?
So we got a scammer, an old black man that passes for white, drinks Crown Royal after games. We got a crazy ass wide receiver that's had CTE for 5 years,
and they're still winning, but we can't win in Jacksonville. They won the game that just happened, bro. Think about that.
Without Mike Evans, if I remember correctly. Chris Godwin, which is part of the reason why I want to believe AB is because these guys were going around playing with injuries as well. But AB is such a bad person.
Hear him say he wanted to moon the fans when he left. I'm like, that's where you decided not to do something.
I mean, you already,
you know what I mean? You already like stripped down, ran off the field.
So when people say he stripped down, I thought like for a second, like, wait a minute, no,
that would have been dope.
How far did that
go?
Been
funny streaking?
Like at least I was expecting at least girdle, but he went like or your sliders
on, yeah. What if he had done like the whole streaker thing where people were chasing him around the field?
Did you see what the security? Did you see what they said? Security?
No, it would have been awesome to see.
No, they were about to tackle him.
Oh God, missed opportunity.
They thought some fan had got down because here's the other part. So
fans ain't built like that, bro.
No. Go back and look at AB. And I'm not saying it's disrespectful because he's an elite talent. It's what I talked about Drew Brees. You see an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman outside of Taven. You look at that guy and you're like, oh, you play football. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, tall. You may hoop. You do something professional. Guys like 5'9" or 6 foot and below that are about 175 pounds. They make a lot of those.
What was that show? Pros versus Joes?
Yeah.
That'd have been awesome to see.
Yeah, if
A
they,
security
like,
guy trying to tackle him.
it would have been, but I think they would have got him.
You think?
They'd be so amped up. I was sitting right next to the fan that got tackled with the Texans game with the Jags. I was on the sideline right there, and those guys are like, "This is what they live for." I don't know if like they go to school for this, and they're like, "Oh."
Like bouncer type.
The hands are like the hands are moving, feet are chopping,
and the fact that it was AB would have
fueled them even more.
Yeah, you got to get on a mic because nobody else can hear your questions. Yes, that's why I paid for the mics.
All right. So I think the reason he didn't moon is because he's literally been saying, "Oh yeah, well, I'll be back in the NFL uniform next year," which leads me to believe,
on Halloween.
Would you take AB and Jax?
No, hell no.
Not anymore.
No, God, no. The only time he'll be in an NFL uniform again is on Halloween when he's trick or treating.
Listen,
ain't nobody taking him again.
Listen,
Turd of talent, bro.
Me and Ahmad Black will be officially in NFL uniforms before AB is in one, or having to re-announce our retirement.
No, I mean, you just can't. You can't. And then the whole press show after this, you can't do it. He knows he's done. Now he's just trying to get his follower count up. Like that's all that's going on now.
Technically, it's past the year, but would he compete with Urban for a year, or he has the worst year?
Oh no, Urban has a way worse year. We already knew AB was crazy. We already knew all this about him.
I'll say this though, like I want to be that crazy. Like
nah,
no.
I'll be sane and
to
broke
be that rich, like to be like, because he ain't that crazy. Like, this is part of the, when people say crazy, like he's crazy, but he crazy enough to make sure that he has enough money in his bank account. And he's crazy enough not to like to say mooning might be too much. He ain't that crazy, but like basically just shy of $1 million. Like, because that's what his bonus would have been if he had got 6 catches. I think he needed like 1 reception over 7 yards or something. It was three very easily attainable things that he turned down because he may have been hurt or he may have been up too late last night with a toilet seat liquor. Uncle Bruce might have said some mean things.
To be fair, she
him.
may be using Clorox wipes on the toilet seat before she licks. Like,
doesn't matter.
You got to get on the. Okay, you two. I'm about to have y'all are about to be my 8 o'clock. We buy this equipment and it is literally right there, and neither one of y'all will talk to the damn mic. Miles is like, yeah. All right. Move the chair. Like this. Yeah. Am I wrong on this?
No, you're not.
So if she's like sleeping with these players and also licking toilets, like why are they still going with her?
Well, that's not a question for us. Yeah. We ain't calling her.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Listen.
I can't help you.
No judgment. No judgment to how people get down. Where I draw the line. Hey, you lick a toilet, man. Like there ain't no coming back from that.
I don't even think we can't even be friends.
Yeah. Hey. Oh, man.
If I were to join your OnlyFans and I saw you lick a toilet, I'd no.
Every time I see your lips.
Right. Like
I've done some wild stuff to the toilet, man. Like blown it up. I don't think Clorox.
I was gonna say some wild stuff to a toilet.
What I'm saying is, I don't think you puckering up to a toilet that I've sat on before. I don't want to.
Like, okay, we're going to go way off on a tangent here, but why would you like? What guy requested that? And is that guy is he in jail? He needs to be. He don't need to be part of general population.
No, one of your best attributes as a human is that you don't like people.
Right.
And it keeps you from engaging. I'm serious. Like it keeps you from engaging with a lot of people. One of the things that I've learned engaging with people, not just on Twitter, because it's different when they're on Twitter because you pray that they're not as stupid as they are, as they're tweeting. But when you meet them and you look at them and then you really have this conversation, you're like, oh, you are a special kind of touched. You really think the way you that's how, like it makes you realize that And what gets worse is when it's like guys and you're having like locker room talk.
And then somebody goes,
and then somebody says something.
Yo, I think it's hot when a chick
outrageous.
licks the toilet.
Yeah, so it doesn't.
Oh,
it doesn't put anything. I don't put anything.
yo,
past
I
it.
have my girl licking toilets. And
AB is
I'm
throwing,
all for y'all embracing
think
your
about
freakiness,
this.
but
AB's throwing like
Miles just
8-inch hard jelly worm penises at people, man.
yes, that's true. That's a true story.
Like
Google it. Like,
that's serious. He's throwing
candy.
candy. He's throwing
gummy
candy
dicks.
penises at
Yeah.
people, man.
Yeah.
So like, does this? Like, I thought, you know, people.
But how do you know that that's your thing? I guess is what I'm getting to. Like, how
How
are you?
slow progression?
Okay, what
You started
walk me
with-
through that progression.
You started with watching people make mud with their toes or something crazy, and then dirty foots is what my friends called it. And then all of a sudden you're like, it's not dark enough. I see all that mud and that brown.
So you're saying there was a gateway?
Something. It's a gateway fetish. Gateway kink.
Because
They're stopping marijuana, but you know what's really striking the land? What's really depraved, making our young men depraved? Gateway fetishes. We must shut down gateway fetishes so we don't have ABs.
Speaking of, let's go ahead and get to I have not fetishes, but I have
Gun fetishes are
Gr-
big too.
well, that's true too. GreenAcres. Make sure you get to GreenAcresSporting.com for all your gun, fishing, hunting, whatever needs that you got. Knife, boots, coolers, flamethrowers, muskets, you name it, they got it at GreenAcres. Good people too, really good people, will educate you through the whole process. Get to GreenAcresSporting.com. I am addicted to something. I have to watch every single one of them.
Dip.
Well, that yes, but the videos of people playing the virtual reality games. Did you see the one where the mom knocked out the kid?
There's a lot of, you know what? No, I was gonna be with you.
I love it.
That shit's not real. They hitting them kids for real. They're kids. No, it's just too many times. Like I saw the UPS driver uppercut. I seen the uncle. Like, nah, man. They tell you have nobody around you.
Well, the kid
Clear out
walked in
there.
front of her.
But what I'm saying is there. The other adult had to, like, they either set the kid up. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if Kai sees, because Killer's the only one that would randomly do this, but if he sees my big ass up there swinging at some invisible person, either he's coming to swing at the invisible person too, or he's going to stay out of the way. But this goes to what your point was. It's not, you know, that you know your kid is stupid when they come out. You've been telling your kid that they're if you are a kid
here.
Let me see this.
Okay, so like they're trying to explain to her how to use it, right? And the kid just walks, and then she decides, pop.
Nah, that was purpose. That was on purpose. That was on purpose. You can't tell me that wasn't on purpose.
Well, here's my point.
Because somebody's holding you and everybody's talking like, just Mima, give me 1 second. Pop. No, she's been holding that in. She wanted to punch.
But here's my point with all this. This is where I was going. Like, we live in this world where everybody tries to put everybody in a bubble. I love this because this is like the toys we grew up with. Like this is the most dangerous toy that's come out since the Rusty swing sets.
Well, it's also fun because this is what adults have been saying for a while. Don't you just stay in there all the time, just sitting down and playing your little PlayStation and getting fat and lazy. This game right here, them games look active. Like you got to get. It reminds me of when we first came out. When the Wii first came out, they had Wii Sports. Yeah. Now I learned how to cheat.
300 on you.
I learned how to cheat with bowling from an autistic kid. Like it's just a little flick of the wrist.
Yes.
Dead serious. I was sitting
same
there
with tennis.
Trying to really.
Yeah, tennis same way.
Because we were sitting in that thing.
Yeah,
trying to bowl for real.
Doing the steps.
Yeah, I was. Never in my life have I wanted. This is the only time I've ever wanted to fight an autistic kid because the kid wasn't just beating me.
What are you doing?
He wasn't just beating me.
I did not know you played bowling with
Yes,
James.
yes, exactly. James wasn't just beating me. He was beating me and talking trash at the same time. And I couldn't really understand, but he was getting it. And I'm over here like, and it's like, And he's like, and it's a strike. And I'm like, what? So I just started cheating like him. But before that, I like the track and field, and I was doing the javelin. I'm not even gonna lie, man. I like sprained like a muscle in my rib because you had to get back there. You got to come from here, and I threw for real. And man, all of that kinetic chain that hadn't been worked in quite some time. I was in that thing breathing.
But see, this
hard.
is even different though, because the Wii, you didn't have something. Have you ever done like a true virtual reality thing?
Like you can't.
It takes you a little while to get your bearings. You know what I mean? And now we're putting this on. That lady's good in 40. Like she's like we're putting this on some lady, and her kids are just kind of floating around, and she's knocking their butts out.
I'm telling you, and moms have that extra sense anyway. Yeah, she hit that kid on purpose.
Well, you're MFTK of the day, the mom and the COVID.
Oh yeah, listen, shit.
Tell the story real quick, and then we got to end.
You people keep putting these kids on pedestals, man. They're already designed to outlive you. Live your best life. COVID is a real disease. This lady went to go get rapid tested because she found out that her kid had COVID. Well, it's a young 14. Enough child, 14 years old. You don't know what's going on. You don't want to leave the 14-year-old with COVID in the house by themselves. Duh. But you're quarantined. So she did what any other wise adult would do in this situation. She put the kid in the damn trunk. She put the kid in the trunk and then went to go get tested. And I guess
I mean, 14, you can stay at home by yourself.
Right. 14,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, am I right on that? Like 14. Yeah, 14. Like, I got to see this 14-year-old. I got to see this mom, because at 14, my mom wasn't going to put me in a trunk.
Not at all.
I was big enough to resist that. I also need to see the trunk. What kind of trunk we talking about here? We talking about like Tahoe, like the back? Or are we talking about like
what cars really just have trunks like that?
Right.
Most people are driving. It's an open concept, but
right, he could push through the back seat, right?
The child was unharmed, man. Let's just put it like that.
Other than COVID.
Who hasn't been in a trunk at 14
with COVID?
With COVID.
All right.
Well, one real quick thing.
Okay.
Before we get to making sure we cover our bill. Z was wrong.
Oh.
And now, but it's not the 17th. It's like I don't want people to show up on January 17th.
Wait, so Z was wrong or we were wrong?
He told me the wrong date.
Oh, okay.
So
we're talking about the tent sale.
The tent sale starts on January 14th, and it goes through the 17th, which I believe is the perfect holiday. Is the perfect holiday to go celebrate your 2A rights. It's MLK Day, and like he was nonviolent, but don't get it twisted. He had a pistol on him at all times. That's Baynard Rustin.
Oh,
Baynard Rustin proved that. Like, it's not me making it up.
Real quick, speaking of carrying, did y'all see what happened on Southside Boulevard yesterday? None of y'all saw this?
No.
So it's right by the radio station. It's the only reason why I know this. They had Southside shut down. Okay.
They robbed the gas station?
No. Dude gets pulled over. He's got a warrant.
Okay.
He's like, you ain't getting me. So he runs into like one of these spas.
Oh, yeah.
And holds him hostage.
I know what.
Shut it down. Shut Southside down for like 3 hours, bro. Right by the radio station. The only thing I could think of is, let's say that you're just out for lunch and you're like, you know what?
I need to get a Deshaun Watson.
Right. Right. And so you mosey in, you're getting your massage.
Yeah. Just getting rubbed out.
And then all of a sudden you can't leave.
Do they charge you more?
Is it by the hour? I don't know.
Because like, hey, everybody get on the ground. You're in your room. Just keep rubbing. We won't make a noise. Like what happens with that? But I've heard stories about those ones over there on South Side. They used to be popping when the Jags were good too.
Oh yeah,
that's what they said.
Oh, luckily it ended okay. Nobody got harmed. Yeah, but they had some crazy SWAT vehicles out there. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. All right, good. What? There's a microphone, Bobby. You too, man.
I put out 2 different little 5-minute, and one of them is a 6-minute set of comedy, some stand-up over on my YouTube page, Denny, if you want to look at that. I sent it to the group chat. But yeah, you guys can go check out my comedy if you would like. I performed at the Comedy Zone not too long ago. You guys know
What's
about.
comedic about that is that you were going to self-promote yourself in a way that nobody could hear you.
Yeah.
You were going to like
He does
say
his comedy.
that.
He does his comedy away from the microphone as well.
He doesn't
So
walk.
it's
part of his bit.
It's 5 minutes of echo.
Listen, it's maybe Bobby on YouTube. You can type in Bobby Brown Jr. opens at Comedy Zone. Already I made some clips and I have like over 3,000 total views today in the last like 6 hours. So
Yeah,
shout out to y'all.
On YouTube?
YouTube Shorts.
Jesus Christ.
Atta
You need to
boy.
Not,
Not like the video.
look at Bobby getting himself a new job doing our YouTube.
Yeah. Congratulations, Bobby.
Congratulations.
All right, we're out of here. We'll be back on Wednesday. I'll be in Indianapolis until Tuesday, so I'll miss Monday. But we will back on Wednesday. Y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy the clown out at the Jags. We'll talk to you later.